Looks like, Rick, you're ready to go first?
I'm ready.
All right.
Hey, good afternoon. Yes, it's definitely a pleasure to be back here at the conference. My favorite topic to talk to you all is training. I'm a training counselor with the National Rifle Association. I'm also a credentialed firearms instructor. And approximately 7 years ago, I was at home and I was watching the news and the broadcast. And, you know, from time to time back home in Detroit, we hear sometimes fairly too often, we hear some unfortunate incidents that are occurring, you know, in our neighborhoods and in the streets. And I caught wind of one particular story that I thought was especially vile, evil, and heinous. It was a story about a woman who had been attacked and had been killed, murdered, and her body was just thrown and discarded in the street. And it was really disturbing and distressing to me on so many different levels that, you know, I just looked like, wow, man, that's really bad. Someone should do something about that. And, you know, and it just bothered me, and it stayed with me for quite some time. And then eventually, you know, I realized, hey, guess what? I am somebody. I'm a firearms trainer. I'm experienced. I'm trained. I can do something about this. So I figured I could make a contribution on some level to attempt to make a difference. So I went to my social media, right? I'm a social media guy, and I'm on all the major social media networks, not all of them, but, you know, the ones that really matter, right? Just about everyone here is on Facebook, LinkedIn, right? We got LinkedIn, we got Twitter, you know, a few others that are out there, and I just leveraged my presence on all of those social media sites, and I just basically had a call, a casting call, if you will. And I was like, look, if you're a woman who is concerned about your safety and you have a desire to take on a more active role in your personal protection, I'm your guy. Come to me on this date, and what we will do, we will have a free firearms training lesson. You won't pay anything out of pocket. I have it covered. I have the guns, I have the ammo. Me and a couple of fellow firearms trainers, we will be there every step of the way. We will ensure that you are safe, and this is completely free of charge. And, you know, I had some people that were a little leery. You know, there's no such thing as a free lunch, right? Well, in this case, it really was free, and it came from a good place, because as much as I was affected by the personal story of just seeing someone brutally killed and discarded, it was troubling. And so that first week, that first year that I ran this program, it happened to be in conjunction with some other activities that I had. And one other activity that I had an open carry dinner. I'm a big open carry advocate back home, and I'm always geared towards people openly displaying their guns and carrying them. So we had an open carry dinner where everyone showed up with their guns. And my keynote speaker, very good friend of mine, I've known him for about 14, 15 years. You probably heard of him. Ken, black man with a gun, Blanchard. He was my keynote speaker. And when Ken was there and we were talking about the ladies' event and how it went, I was happy that I had some ladies come out. I had 50 women come out. But, the first time you do something, if you're not used to recruiting people for a brand new program, you probably have some unrealistic expectations. I was expecting hundreds of women, right? And I got 50, and I was really disappointed. And Ken was like, "Man, what are you talking about? That was awesome. That was great. 50 women who weren't trained before. Now they're trained. They're ready to go. They know how to shoot and operate a firearm. You are empowering them." And then I felt better. It's kind of like that scene in The Matrix when, Neo ate the cookie, right? And he felt better right away. And that's how I felt instantly. And so undaunted, the next year we had 100 women, and then 200 women, 300, 400, 600. And I'm proud to report that we had 700 show up for this one-day training this past May, and it was awesome. And it's great, and it's all about empowering those who are most vulnerable among us, and we need to do more of that. If you talk to anyone who is doing any research whatsoever about women in firearms, they are the fastest growing segments of firearms buyers and of firearms education. It is where the industry is moving, and we need to be there and to support them and give them the encouragement that they need to continue. And I have a joy doing it, and man, I feel so great empowering women. Thank you so very much for having me out here today.
Hello, everyone. Let's see here.